So, what are we doing right now?
I'm signing up to become a nutritional therapy practitioner.
Let's go! Yeah!
May 2023 class, so I'll be like going through it with other classmates. Well, I actually have to apply first, so hopefully I don't get rejected, but...
Well, assuming you get in, how do you feel right now?
I've been dreaming of this moment since 2017, so...
Yeah, we're doing it. High five.
Okay, we need a 45, a 55. Here we go. Oh my gosh!
Oh, I can't even see it. Oh, 54.
We did it!
I forgot to grab tissues, so I just have napkins now. I'm gonna be a hot mess, y'all.
That was so scary. What a year it has been. It has been so special to accomplish a long-time dream of becoming a nutritional therapy practitioner. By the way, if you're new here, I'm Steph. I've documented a lot of my journey with chronic illness back to wellness, but this last year's been pretty quiet as I've worked really hard to become an NTP. Starting this program was something I really wanted to do once I had greater capacity, energy, and just felt healthier. But last year, I made a resolution to stop letting chronic illness stop me from doing the things I really wanted to do. And then a couple months into the year, it felt like the right time to pursue this education. Having graduated and made it to the other side, I wanted to make this video as a resource to anyone else who's looking into the program and just share what my experiences look like. We'll get into what an NTP even is, what the program was like, and all of that good stuff. But in the event that you're here and you're dreaming of doing a new thing, whether that's the NTA or you're looking into other programs, I want you to know it's normal to be a little bit afraid. Especially if you haven't been in an academic environment in a while, it can feel really intimidating and feel like, am I gonna be able to do this? I wanna quickly share a post that someone shared with me by Christine Kane that really helped to alleviate some of these fears when I was experiencing them. I don't know anyone who ever felt qualified enough to do the thing God has called them to do. Trust me, it's not just you that feels this way. A God call is supernatural and impossible for us to fulfill in our own natural strengths, gifts, talents, or abilities. It's going to take God to do it through us. So if you think you are not smart enough, gifted enough, resourced enough, connected enough, talented enough, or anything else not enough, you're in great company. You are strategically positioned for God to show off through you. If you could do it without God, then you don't actually need God. Stop waiting, take the leap, and go for it. Anything worth doing is hard, but it's also good if that's what you're called to. With all that being said, let's dive into all things NTA. An NTP is a professional trained to essentially support the body's innate healing ability. And the way they do this is essentially by supporting the foundations of health. To the NTA, those foundations are a properly prepared, nutrient-dense whole foods diet, digestion, blood sugar regulation, fatty acids, mineral balance, and hydration. We essentially work with clients to strengthen the body's defenses and to remove stressors on the body. And in turn, the body usually responds by doing its thing and trying to go back to homeostasis. NTPs are also trained to create unique protocols because every person is different and every person's gonna have different needs. And we're also trained to identify and address imbalances in the body and nutrient deficiencies through holistic nutrition, lifestyle recommendations, supplementation. You know, really, I feel like we wear a lot of hats, but what we don't do is we don't diagnose, treat, cure, or prescribe anything. We're also not registered dietitians, we're not licensed nutritionists, but we do really take the time to sit with each client and kind of figure out why they may not be feeling the best and trying to get to the root of what is going on and how we can help the body return to a more balanced state. The Nutritional Therapy Association is a private vocational school located in Washington. They are licensed by the Washington State Workforce Training and Education Coordinating Board, but they are not accredited by the Department of Education, which is why they're a vocational school. The NTP program specifically is also recognized by the National Association of Nutrition Professionals. Graduates of the NTA are eligible to sit to become board certified in holistic nutrition. Jeez, that's a mouthful. Okay, probably my favorite thing to talk about. Really, this program, the curriculum, is so vast. It covers things from the history of food to anatomy, physiology, the foundations of health, sleep, stress, movement, culinary wellness, environmental factors, barriers to health and well-being. I mean, it is a really comprehensive amount of information. I would say the core of the program is really those 6 foundations of health that I mentioned earlier. The NTA really believes that these 6 foundations must be in balance for someone to have optimal health. I can't say enough good things about the curriculum. 12 months. So new cohorts usually begin February, May, and September. The earlier you register, usually the more you can save on your tuition. So the whole program's online and it's all hosted on Canvas, just like any other online college course. You can go through the required reading or the recorded lectures at any time, but there are live calls once a week with your instructors. The live classes are recorded just in case you can't make it, and they're not mandatory, but there often are like breakout rooms and exercises that can only happen if you actually go to the class. So I would definitely recommend going as much as you can. Assignments are usually due every module as well, which can be every 1 to 2 weeks. And you'll also be expected to find 3 real people that are willing to be practice clients for you to work with. You'll do all of this under the guidance of your instructors, so you won't know what to do at first, and that's okay. This is what the learning process is for. But nobody told me that before I signed up, so you do need to have, 3 people in mind, or just be prepared to post on social media to find somebody. It can be somebody you know, but that is a pretty big part of the program as well. The program also includes some projects, a midterm and final exam, and kind of a big presentation at the end of your year. Last but not least, you will be assigned a course mentor who is a former NTP graduate, and they will meet with you and a small group of people, like 8 to 10 of you, once a month. And this is a great opportunity to form connections with your fellow classmates, to learn a lot from someone who has gone on and is in practice now. So that's also a really fun part of the program. So I won't lie, this was a lot. This program was a lot. In some ways, it felt more difficult than my bachelor's degree did, content-wise. In the beginning, it felt like I was reading like 200 pages worth of content, plus lectures, videos, and doing assignments every week or 2. And it felt like I was putting in 15 to 20 hours of work on those weeks. But some weeks were lighter, and I was probably putting in more like 7 to 10 hours a week. Most people in my program did this while working, being parents, being pregnant, being pretty sick, and we all managed to get it done. So if it's something you feel called to, you can absolutely do this and get it done. Yes, the NTA does take a food-first approach, so we don't rush to give clients supplements, and not every client will need supplements, but some will. And so we do learn a bit about how to use them. And then it's also just important to note that when you become a practitioner, you can create accounts and sign up under different supplement companies and kind of get more extensive and direct training from them directly, which is nice. And I know the NANP, the nutrition organization I mentioned earlier, they have a dietary supplement professional course, and you can get certified in that. So there are additional ways to educate yourself about supplements outside of this program too. So I ended up choosing the NTA because I felt like it aligned the most with the beliefs I already had about health. Before joining the NTA, I was very passionate about actually getting to the root cause of people's health concerns. I've believed that there is sort of an order in which to approach healing, although I do think that may look different for each person. I think there are general rules of thumb to follow, and to me, I've always believed that we really need to start when we're looking at our health by looking at the foundations of our health. In the same way that a house needs a strong foundation to withstand the tests of time, a healthy body needs those same things. So you can eat a perfect diet or supplement till the cows come home, but if you're not sleeping, if you're not managing your stress, if you're not drinking enough water, if you're not getting enough electrolytes with those water, there's so many, elements to the foundations, but that's really where we need to start. And so the fact that that was such a big part of the curriculum really attracted me to this program in particular. I also really liked that the NTA wasn't just a course, but it was actually school, vocational school. I'm someone that really values accurate information. There's so much conflicting information, especially in the nutrition space, that I wanted to make sure the education I was receiving was evidence-based and legitimate. And I really appreciated that the NTA was so intentional about building all of their content out that they teach with evidence-based scientific research. I also really liked that both before I even applied to the program and having gone through it now, the whole organization is just so open to questions, which was not the experience I had when I was looking into other programs. They were not easily offended. They actually used those moments as opportunities to teach us how to critically think, and the whole tone was very neutral. I mean, I felt like I was at a university. So I just really valued that whole experience. And then one of the bigger reasons I probably joined was because there was such an emphasis on anatomy and physiology versus other programs I was looking into. The reason I wanted to do this now and become a practitioner now was so that I could understand the human body better and understand my body better and feel more confident in caring for myself and one-day clients. Other programs seemed great, they didn't have that emphasis, and I can tell you now, I know most of the hormones and enzymes involved in digestion, and I know a whole lot about the endocrine system, the lymphatic system, the cardiovascular system, detoxification, and I really even feel like we just scratched the surface because you only have a year, but this was definitely the education I was looking for. So to wrap up, here's what I loved about the program. Again, the information itself, absolutely incredible. I loved learning. The program is big on evidence-based information. Even the projects that we had to submit all had to be cited from legitimate, credible sources. And they teach you how to read scientific studies as part of the program, which, chef's kiss. The mentor groups are a really great way to connect with classmates and someone who has gone before you and is a few steps ahead of you. I feel like I always looked forward to those calls in particular. The instructors are very knowledgeable, and the live classes are just such a great way to ask questions about what you're learning and really dive deeper into discussion. The instructors also hold office hours, which is so nice. I've used it before, and you can just tell they want you to succeed. So use them as a resource. If you're putting in an effort, you're gonna succeed. And last, I just love that you actually work with real people to be able to practice the whole client onboarding process, intake forms, how to work with them, how to build recommendations for them. I feel like now I feel much more confident in how to work with a real person since I've been doing it all this year. So some things I didn't love. The client consultation process was just kind of a lot. It felt overcomplicated to me, kind of clunky, and just not how I would like to work with clients. But I mean, now that I'm graduated, I don't have to do that. I know a lot of my classmates felt the same way. Like, the process and learning it was a lot. There also wasn't as much supplement education as I would have liked, although the cohort after ours, the September 2023, I believe the whole program was actually updated. So I think this may have changed, but in our class, that was not necessarily the case. And then just something else to consider, there is no lab interpretation education as part of this course, which was a little sad for me because I definitely want to offer that to clients one day. But it wasn't a deal breaker because I just felt like the core curriculum was way stronger in this program than some of the other ones I was looking at that had labs. I just love the NTA, and I wish that that was part of the program. Yes, I was actually one of 2 students to win a partial scholarship in my cohort. The NTA has a few different opportunities here, but it's definitely best to speak to an advisor because I feel like things are always changing, so they're gonna have the most accurate information. So for financial questions, I'll try to, in the description below, put resources to contact them. Here's what I do know is offered. So I did mention earlier, you have early registration savings. So typically, the closer you are to the start of the registration window, the more you can save on your program. If you apply to the program fairly early, I think you can save around like $750 off your tuition. I know the NTA also offers virtual open houses, and they'll announce the days and times for these on Instagram. And I went to one of those and I got $850 off of my tuition. So that's definitely a nice bonus, and I would look into that. They also offer typically 2 $2,500 partial scholarships. So this is what I actually won. This scholarship is only available to current NTA students. You cannot apply for it before you're a student in the NTA. And if you win, you'll be given a reimbursement check. To apply and hopefully, succeed and get the scholarship, you'll need to excel, do well in the classroom. They do take your grades and your involvement into account. And then you'll need to make a 2-minute video explaining how you are using your NTP education in your own life or how you're sharing it with others. You may have already seen my video because they asked me if they could use it as an ad after I won the scholarship. But in case you haven't, and this is something you're wanting to pursue, I placed the video on my blog post that I'll link below. Because I know when I was applying, I was just like watching all the videos and trying to find the commonalities and make the best video that I could. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of inspiration. Honestly, you really don't need a fancy camera or microphone to succeed and do well. I would really just focus on telling your story in an engaging way. I included some more advice and storytelling resources down in that blog post, so you can check it out if you're looking into this particular scholarship. And then last but not least, there is the Graham Grant. And so I will read this so I don't get this wrong. But the NTA offers several grants for qualifying students. What is offered each enrollment cycle varies, so it's important to review the page I linked on the blog where I am talking about scholarships, and then reach out to an admissions officer to understand what's being offered and see if you qualify for a grant. But I think I've seen around like anywhere from 10 to 30 grants offered an enrollment cycle. So there are options, there are payment plans as well. I think the NTA really wants to make this as accessible to as many people as possible. If you are ready to become an NTP, I am so excited for you. I think this journey is just one of the most exciting ones out there. The world just needs more NTPs. I will put a link in the description below of where to go when you're ready to enroll as an NTP. I'm also currently in the process of becoming an affiliate, so I'm hoping that will come with more deals for you, a little more off your tuition or books or things like that. So as that gets updated, that'll be reflected in the description and the blog post as well. And then if you have any more questions and just want to talk to a real person who's been through it, shoot me a DM on Instagram. I'd be happy to help support you if you have questions about this program. Even if you don't end up picking it, that's okay. I'm just excited for wherever you end up that's the best fit for you. The big question. Though I may look healthy and like I'm thriving right now or in my scholarship video, I'm actually not. I still have pretty significant challenges that limit me pretty severely at the moment. Chronic fatigue in particular, I think that's just the biggest beast in my life. I've improved in a lot of other areas, but this seems to be one that's very difficult to kick. And so I'm still pretty much housebound, not driving, having a hard time doing a lot of just normal things. And it was a challenge to get through this program, let me tell you, because of that. So I'd love to just take everything I've learned and apply it to my own life without the stress of deadlines and exams and presentations now. I think that definitely took a toll on me physically. I also know that when I start to work as a practitioner, I feel really passionate about helping people like me with all the sensitivities, who react to everything, and maybe the average practitioner struggles to help them. Because of this, I actually did end up signing up for the Mastering Mast Cell Activation Summit. It was an event that happened back in October. And it was really interesting listening to a lot of the experts talk about hypersensitivities and mast cell and what to do with these people nobody knows what to do with. Almost every talk, even though the content was different, essentially what each expert shared was that the nervous system is just a huge part of helping to heal these types of patients in their case. And I've seen evidence of that in my own life as well. And so I will not be starting to practice as an NTP at this time. And I'm probably going to continue to be away from YouTube, but I have all the hopes and dreams to come back one day and get to do this work one day. But for now, again, gonna kind of focus on my own health, and possibly, more than possibly, probably will be diving into some neuroscience, neuroanatomy education. I'm gonna be trying out a new nervous system program I'm very excited about, potentially becoming a neurofeedback clinician. We'll see what happens. But that's kind of where my head's at. I'm feeling really excited for what's to come, because I think this work that I'm gonna be getting into soon is the missing piece for a lot of people. And so I'm excited to hopefully experience it myself, learn more, and to be able to offer, you know, some of this support to clients one day in the future. For now, I will leave you with a quick Morgan Harper Nichols quote. May there be room in your life for courage, hope, and healing in this season. I hope to see you soon, friends. Say bye to the people. Bye.